She had not retired to her bedchamber, but she had instead gone to her study. She was tired but too restless to sleep, so she had decided to look over yet more in what seemed to be an endless stream of administrative duties. Paperwork stopped for nothing, and no pony, not even Deaf, not even Clover the Clever. She surveyed the latest proposal from King Sandrine, and he wanted more gems from the mines in the Cornea province. Platinum would be not happy about it. Neither was Celestia. To be honest, more gems for a kingdom that didn't use them as currency, eat them, or care about using them in jewelry. Luna was probably right about Graphonia using Celestia's own resources to stack the dragons against them. Yet what they would do if they had refused. King Sandrine would consider the treaty broken and would be back the way things used to be. Any gamble of pony life that was not acceptable. Yet if they had complied with the amendment, they might be setting themselves up for the Griffin's personal hunting ground, with dragons as gamekeepers, straining the giblet. A knock on the door provided a welcome distraction. The guards on the other side would not leave just any pony up to see her, so it had to be important. "Enter," she called. The door opened and Luna strolled in. She was still wearing that cloak from the funeral. Celestia realized with a surprise that she too had forgotten to remove hers and had been using the messy quill in her finery. Using her magic, she undid the clasp, folded the cloak over the back of the chair, and removed her tiara. In the absence of the elements of harmony, the true symbols of their office, both Celestia and Luna had worn especially forged crowns, adorned with suns and moons, picked out by ordinary gemstones instead. They were pretty, but heavy, and pinched at the ears. Celestia's skull felt like expanded when she took it off. "Luna," she said warmly, "thou art not with our guests?" "I did tire of them, and they did tire of me," Luna shrugged. "This is all much of a much. Their chatter goes on unabated with neither you or I present. My Captain Diamond and Captain Auburn to keep the peace well into our absence, though perchance Prince Goldenmane seeks to hold his own court." Celestia laughed. "He is indeed quite full of himself, much like his mother at his age." "Indeed," Luna eyed the table. "More treaties? The latest admitted by King Sandrine," Celestia sighed. "More demands, thou doth mean," Luna said bitterly. "Hast thou thought again on my proposal?" "To use our sun and moon to force this acquaintances?" Celestia didn't have the strength to go through with this argument again. "No, Luna, I have not. Thou dost know my feelings on the matter, and thou dost know mine," Luna replied. "It doth seem like we are impasse. Prithee, may we leave the quarrel for here tonight? We have a few buried a friend, Luna. Now it is not the time to speak of war games in the land he made." Thus the great Celestia have spoken. "Luna, thy hostility is wearing. Wherefore dost thou think of me thy enemy? Wherefore dost thou treat me as thine?" Luna shot back. "I did not." Celestia caught herself off, turning back to her scrolls and waved a hoof in Luna's direction. "I will not do this, Luna. Not this night." Luna sighed heavily. "'Tis good, then, that I bring thee a peace offering." She held out a goblet that she had been carrying. Celestia had assumed it was her own from the great hall. "I chanced upon a servant bringing this hence, and thought to use it to remind myself why I sought thee out. I seek not to argue, Celestia. Thou art right, not this night." She held out the goblet. "'Tis not the night for pittiness." Celestia smiled and accepted it with her magic, bringing it gratefully to her own hoof. She was parched, with why she was sent for the drink in the first place. Luna's words eased her mind as the liquid eased her first. "I am glad to hear such words from you, dear sister," she said once she had drained it. Alone with Luna, She allowed herself to elapse from the property and gulped instead of a sip. Even with a small release from the decorum felt good. I hate it when we squabble. As I do I, sister. Something in the way she said this made Celestia raise her head and frown. Luna, wherefore? She got as far as the first word of her question before a bolt of pain rocketed through her. What? Came another, squeezing her ribcage like an iron band. She couldn't get her breath. When she tried to stand, a third bolt lanced through her, and she fell like a marionette with all of its strings cut. Her flailing hoof caught the edge on the cloak that she had thrown over the chair, bringing it down on top of her and flinging her tiara into the air. It clattered to the stone floor inches from her nose. It may as well have been miles, for all that she could reach it. Silvery shoes appeared in her field of vision. Celestia managed to tilt her head enough to look up. Luna, she croaked. Help. I am helping, dear sister, Luna replied piteously. I am helping Equestria. As I did say, 'tis not a night for pittiness. 'Tis instead a night of deceivingness. She tilted her head pensively. The poison doth work quickly. I did not know the dosage would do for thee. A pinch did serve for Clover, but an alicorn? Be grateful, Celestia. I did low 5 drink, with so much 5 suffering should not be long. Celestia couldn't believe what she was hearing. Poison? Know that I do this for the greater good, Luna went on. This land is in turmoil, doth need a farmer hoof than mine to save it. 2 has to, though, stood in the sunlight while ponies praise 5 decisions, good or bad, while I languish in the shadow, ignore and dismissed by naught as an ugly, stupid fool. Nay, Celestia croaked. Nay? Luna laughed, her voice still as bitter as salt. Still, thou dost deny how pushed me aside. Well, no more, Celestia. No more I will allow thee find mistake, ache, and glory. Equestria hath no more of need fee. Celestia stared in horror as Luna's eyes glowed until her pupils had disappeared. Patches of what looked like black fire crawled across her face. Beneath her cloak, her ruined wings moved and spread, but they were not ruined anymore. They were huge, lustrous, and covered in black feathers that knifed out the flames like something from a nightmare. She reared, bringing her forehoofs to her own down on Celestia's tiara, crumpled it like old parchment. Equestria needs not 2 squabbling princesses, Luna spat, her voice resonating around the chamber. She sounded older and harsher, like a monstrous butterfly emerging from its fiery cocoon. She spread her wings and boomed. Equestria Dolph needs a queen. Accelerating waves of pain racked Celestia's body. She couldn't believe what she was seeing. Luna brought her face close. Her teeth were dragon sharp. Her eyes were luminous and slitted. Clouds of starshine mane swirled around her head. Only her rump mark remained the same. The sole cue that his monster had once been her little sister. Now all ponies will know my night and revel it in it, she hissed. For all they shall see. Without thee, I shall control Phi's son, and use it to teach King Sundering the lesson he so richly deserves. Then my moon and I shall entrance all of Equestria. It should have given from the beginning. No more ponies will ignore me or my knight. No more will I live in Phi's shadow, Celestia. Never again will I lower my beautiful, beautiful moon and stars. I have suffered, and now I am a reborn. Celestia gasped in agony. Black spots crowded her vision. Her heart raced and her mind swam. Luna! The door burst open as her guards galloped in. They stopped at the sight of Luna standing over Celestia. Intruder! One yelled, clearly not recognizing her. Assassin! Cried the other. I am neither, Luna replied icily. I am Phi for Silverigin. Bow before me or suffer the fate of all traitors. The guards ran at her, weapons drawn. She swept a hoof at them, and then her mane shot out. It encased both guards, lifting them off the floor. The Pegasus beat his wings, screaming with a silver of mane, reached out and snapped the base of each joint. The unicorn tried using his magic to pick up the desk and throw at her. Luna's tail whipped out, grabbing the missile and brought it down to his head instead. The crunch would have returned to Celestia's stomach if she wasn't so absorbed in trying to breathe. The Pegasus guard grew through his spear, his aim in uttering rain despite the a great deal of pain he had to be in. Again, Luna's tail whipped out, grabbed the spear and rammed it backwards. The blunt end punched through the guard's armor and out the other side. She let the bodies drop and turn away like she didn't care and they were landed or where she had just done. How unfortunate, she said. Yet they provide a good lesson in my new regime. I shall now bow before Equestria's queen, or they shall die. There is a simplicity to it, and 5 treaties lack Celestia. Celestia sighed, clutching her chest. She heard screams through the window. Luna trotted over to look and shook her head. But though seemed Windracer has already spreading his dark devotion to my other guards. His eagerness is almost amusing, though I do not believe all would agree. Whose he turns will flush out all traitors to my crown. I must depart, dear sister. My subjects await for my introduction, and I must inform them of the newly fitly so that my guards may do their job. Celestia wanted to beg her not to. She wanted to demand to know what was going on. She wanted to know who this impostor was, or who had bewitched her poor sister. She wanted to beat whoever had done this within an inch of their miserable life. This was not the Luna she knew. This was not the filly who had kept her alive when she wanted to give up in those caves. This was not the gentle mare who had wanted to go and save the Crystal Empire from Sombra. This was not the sister who had spent long hours crafting constellations simply for the pleasure of others. This monster was not Luna. Celestia's world grayed out as the sound of silvery shoes left her chamber. She was dying and she knew it. The only thing she could hope for was a release from the excruciating pain as her heart raced to end itself. This was how Clover had felt at the end? Was this truly how he died? Not of old age or poor health, but murdered by one of the ponies who was trying to help? She was far gone to hear the crackle of magic or see the flash of light. She didn't even feel the hooves that cradled her head, or hear the curse that she would have made the most potty-mouthed brigand blush. She was, however, aware of the fact that her heart had stopped. For an eternal moment, the world hung in endless motion, seethed in darkness. I am dead, she thought, distantly. So did the warm and cold and soft and hard and everything in between. This feels like the time that the caves. We did die by that day after all. Then all at once the stillness imploded. Her chest convulsed as she crashed back herself and gasped in a lungful of air. Celestia? Said a gruff voice. She gasped for several seconds before being able to open her eyes. The blotches of light and color resolved themselves into a face she recognized. She also knew the jingling of bells. Star Swirl? She wheezed. Cerberus balls. I was at least in time. He sagged himself in relief. His horn glowed. Beside his head was a ball of dark red liquid, revolved, dripping and splashing as if against the inside of an invisible container. Celestia stared at it and at him. I was forced to extract the poison quickly, he explained. Never before have I attempted the teleportation. As a matter of this matter, but it was this or certain death for thee. Regrettably, I did bring some of thy heart blood with it. Thou art not fully cleansed, but 'tis enough to preserve thy life. Thy natural alicorn healing all serve against the rest. So she wasn't going to die after all. Not this time, nonetheless. She felt as weak as a newborn foal. Luna! Instead of asking what she meant or thinking that Luna might also be in similar trouble, Starswell's face became grim. I had hoped to return sooner, but she vexed me by splitting those loose gems between locations. The notes I took from Clover's belongings about her nightly searches for them provided useful, but it still did take me much time and energy to locate where she had hidden them. Teleportation is my greatest achievement, yet it doth sap even my energy without each casting. Celestia realized for the first time that she was bathed in sweat, legs trembling like she had run a race against the strongest young unicorn mage in Equestria. My magic is near spent, and I was still too late. What? Princess Celestia, thy sister hath betrayed thee. Moreover, she hath committed her betrayal for a great long time. 'Twas she who stole the elements of harmony and hid them away in the secret places, so thou couldst not use them without her. Without her? Thou didst question why I was late unto my own student's funeral. I confess how I was busy investigating the chamber which he perished. I knew Clover better than any other pony in Equestria. His heart was too strong to fail, so 'twas not an easy task to cast psychometry to see what the last psychometrist did see, but not beyond the achievement of a mage as much as myself. I did see what Clover did see, and the secret that brought this about murder. Princess Luna is corrupted. Her heart hath been darkened by some evil magic that hath twisted her beyond even my king. The elements of harmony are no longer reflect her. They have rejected her as their chosen. Her bond with them is gone. As was Luna herself, Celestia flashed the image of that terrible face and the depths of her guards. No doubt Starswirl could see their bodies only a few feet away. They had been good ponies, who didn't deserve to die. Yet my bond with them remains, and this did drive her into madness and fearful sort. Her is the madness of tragedy and shadow. Starswirl raised his head at the sound of booming laughter and screams from outside. At least until now, I believe her mind hath stopped entirely this night, and the darkness infecting her heart hath changed in her reflection. She poisoned Goblet. Celestia closed her eyes. Have to stop? What she's... Canst thou stop her? Starswirl asked. Truly thy own sister? That wasn't what she meant. Celestia struggled to sit upright. Her head swam and she nearly toppled over again. Starswirl was in no fit state to catch her, and broken a skull from bouncing off the flagstones would not help matters. She had caught sight of the spreading pool of blood beneath the twisted limbs of her guards, and shut her eyes again, stomach rolling. Have to save her. Save her, Starswirl gasped. Princess Celestia, there is no saver. Thy sister is gone. Only her shell doth remain, powered by the darkness that hath overtaken her heart. This not thy sister, laying to waste the citizens. Nay, it is Luna still, Celestia insisted. Every breath heard and every heartbeat felt like a kick to the chest. Somewhere inside 'tis her. Thou art a fool, Starswirl declared, and I did think thee more intelligent than this. Does the evidence lay before thee not convince thee? Her crimes are as many and terrible. Even now she doth commit them in thine own courtyard. The screams. Celestia heard the voices of confused and frightened ponies, and it galvanized her to try and stand. They needed her. She couldn't let them down. She half fell, forelegs locked, but hind legs unable to support her. The door didn't crash open. It had for her guards. The noise of faltering footsteps alerted her to ponies entering her study. Princess Celestia, Starswirl the Bearded, but thou art already departed. What hath happened here? Thy guards, what villainy is this? Hurricane's shout was unmistakable through the morasses of voices. Celestia turned to look, but even as she did so, she felt a small body pressing against her. On the trembling limbs of her own, Pansy tried to help her push to her hooves. Smart Cookie went for her on the other side and supported her there. Between them, the two ponies managed to get Celestia upright, though the three of them had trembled so much that it would only have taken a breath of the wind to knock them over. Princess Celestia, Platinum hobbled over, carefully keeping her gaze off the guards. What wickedness hath occurred here? Treachery of the worst sort, Starsworld answered for her. Princess Luna hath betrayed us all. She doth declare herself queen of all, and did seek to poison her sister to claim the right use to rule alone. All 5 founding ponies gasped and began to chatter. Hurricane drew her sword, but it was only a decorative one that she had worn at the funeral. Where is she? Where is she? Such a treachery cannot go unpunished. Starswirl didn't look at Celestia. He gestured to the window. Gaze outside, but keep the heads down. Else she may see and do thee what she have wrought upon the 2 poor stallions. She is much stronger than any of my predictions, he added somberly, as if thought he should stare at some sort of blame for this. Hurricane Puddinghead and Platinum went to the window and peered over the ledge. Platinum gasped. Hurricane Puddinghead had made a choking noise, as if he had swallowed part of his mustache while it was still attached. Hurricane growled. Slowly Pansy and Smart Cookie guided Celestia to see as well. Outside, the courtyard was filled with ponies. Palace servants stood with lesser nobles, had been serving the great hall only for a short while ago. Ponies from the provinces also stood with them, staring around in confusion like sheepdogs. Huge gray stallions with bat-like wings and golden eyes herded them together. As Celestia watched, a unicorn mare in a torn dress made a break for it and tried to run away. One of the bat ponies landed on her like an owl on a mouse. She shrieked as he gripped the scruff of her neck between his teeth and tossed her back into the crowd. Those poor ponies, whispered Pansy. Above the courtyard, languidly flapping her wings, Luna watched everything. With a sharp-toothed grin, Celestia was struck once more by the changes and found herself focusing more than ever on Luna's rump mark. That mark was unique. No pony could ever have the talent of raising and lowering the moon, nor the rump mark to match it. That mark proved this pony was still her sister. Little, Luna was bigger than Celestia now. Her flowing mane and her tail had made it appear even larger. A yell drew Celestia's attention. An orange Pegasus wearing the Moon Guard insignia shot from behind the castle turret. He was pursued by another bat pony that twisted and turned as easily as he did. The guard was bleeding and he had lost his spear. He doubled back and forth and flew beneath his pursuer, clearly thinking to go over the castle walls and escape into the forest. Another bat pony intercepted them like an arrow from the bow, knocking him out of the air. The guard was pinned against the turret wall, struggling as the bat pony enveloped him with its wing. One flash of dark magic later, the bat pony launched itself off into stonework, and he transformed the guard stretched the bat wings of his own, no longer protesting. He gilded down to the crowd and began marshalling them into place too. Wind Racer, Luna called. One of the bat ponies soared up to her and managed to bow in the air. Are all assembled here? The bat pony's voice didn't carry like hers, so only her responses was audible. Then find them and bring them here. All must witness my glory and have their fealty tested. Not even the founders may abscond. Pansy squeaked, the noise vibrating through Celestia's wing. Puddinghead ducked behind the wall. Hurricane looked like she was about to leap out of the window and challenge Luna, but Platinum held her back. Do not do anything foolish, he scolded. I have buried one friend. I will not lose another to her own recklessness. Doest thou not hear me, her? Hurricane demanded. She sends her monstrous creations to find us and drag us to her. And wouldst thou do? Platinum demanded. Thou art a warrior no longer Hurricane. I am a warrior forever, Hurricane thundered back. Keep 5 voices low, Starswirl snapped. Dost thou seek to bring her creations down upon us, they shall seek thee out of thy rooms first. We have built a little time. For what? Escape? Hurricane snorted. I shall not run from battle. will seem escape is impossible, said Smart Cookie. Though didn't see Princess Luna's monsters, we would not slip past them, even if we were in mind to leave. Which we are not, Hurricane hissed. What should we do, Celestia? Celestia was shocked. Though Doris asked me, she had no idea what they would do. She was still reeling from all which she had witnessed and learned. I did choose thee as my sovereign not long ago, Hurricane said. I change not such a decision now. Thou art my princess still, though those things may try to force me to say otherwise. I am fine, Celestia, now and forever. Celestia gasped, even more when Smart Cookie nodded. I agree. Thou have done naught but for good, Equestria, and shown thy love for our ponies and every deed thou has done. I am for thee, Celestia. Through my old bones may do little good in a fight. Mine also, said Pansy. My wings are creak, but they will fly me behind thee. Celestia didn't know what to say. Starsworld gave her a shrewd look. Would thou seem thou art overflowing with champions? Thou art still ruler of Equestria, Princess Celestia, whatever thy sister doth claim. She reached under his cloak, into the saddlebag hidden there. A true sovereign doth needs a symbol for her office. He pulled out something Celestia had thought she would never see again, a golden tiara topped with 3 gemstones, shaped like blazing suns. The elements of harmony, she breathed. Starsworld had laid the tiara down on the floor and produced 3 more gemstones, loose and uncut. These were the 3 that had formerly been a part of Luna's tiara. If Celestia needed further proof that Luna had been corrupted here, it was. She strained her to hear the element's surprise that she hadn't been able to before, but the whisperings were so faint she might have been imagining them. Thy connection remains, said Starswirl, though art is still the element's chosen, Celestia. But how may I use them? She wailed, staring at the loose stones. I am one but half of their chosen one, Luna. She choked off the words. Luna was the other, my other half. Didst thou not once tell me that the elements of harmony have power when the souls are present represent them? Laughter, honesty, loyalty, kindness, and generosity? Starswirl demanded. At these 5 do create a spark of magic that ignites the 6, and through all that, the power of all of them? Ah, yes, Celestia admitted. Laughter, honesty, loyalty, kindness, and generosity whispered in her memory. For a moment she was back in the caves beneath the smoking ruins of Canterlot village, her wing curled protectively over Luna's tiny body as the soundless voices spoke into their minds for the first time. These bind lost souls closer and breed harmony from chaos. They also permit us to release our own power. There is strength in these 5 elements, for when they come together, they create a spark of another, and we are able to free ourselves. Look around thee, Celestia, Starswirl said. Look and tell me what as thou not see 5 ponies with whose hearts to burn with these things. With a growing understanding, Celestia followed his gaze. Hurricane stood proud and royal, ready to go into a battle without a hope of success, because she would not abandon the promise that she had made to follow Celestia. Pansy supported Celestia's weakened body, even though her own trembled with age and fear. Smart Cookie, Puddinghead, Platinum, they all stared right back at Starswirl's meaning dawned on them. We could release the element's power? Platinum echoed. I know not with certainty, but I think so. Oh, Starswirl replied. Twiz though makes sense, Smart Cookie said thoughtfully. When Princess Luna ceased to embody these things, they ceased to work for her. Celestia fought back. It was true. Luna had not laughed in so long. She had betrayed her own sister and, if her plan succeeded, soon her whole country and all the ponies in it. The generous heart that had made her want to help the Crystal Empire had given to selflessness and vanity, in fact. In fact, all those things had happened ever since they had returned from the Crystal Empire, ever since they destroyed Sombra, ever since... I will endure. Thou shalt not be rid of my darkness, Celestia. Sombra had tried to attack Celestia, but at the end Luna had gotten in the way and had covered in his remains. He had been trying to. Heavens, was it possible? She totally missed something so terrible? Thou shalt not be rid of my darkness. Nay, she whispered. I should have seen it. I should have guessed it. This is my fault. This is my fault. Celestia, Puddinghead dived to get Smart Cookie out of the way. As Celestia suddenly reared and toppled sideways, Pansy stumbled away, shocked. Luna, Celestia cried. I did not release. I did not understand. Oh, Luna, why did I not see until now? Why did so many other things distract me and bind me so much to truth? What? Hurricane banged the tip of her sword on the ground. Wherefore dost thou speak so, Celestia? 'Tis Sombra's darkness, Celestia sobbed. His last curse, his magic have done this. He must have infected poor Luna when we had vanquished him. She wailed. I did not see what he had done to my own dear sister. Celestia, Star Swirl snapped, glancing easily at the window. Compose thyself. Thou art not a princess, still therefore conduct thyself as one. Or dost thou truly wish to abdicate now and leave the land to Princess Luna? Yes, she was a princess who had betrayed her sister long before Luna betrayed her, but she was still a princess of Equestria. She had made a commitment, and however hard it was to hear, no matter her grief, she had a duty to fulfill. Regretfully, Princess Celestia pushed herself to her hooves and stood over under her own power. Nay, she said, drawing herself together with a shuddering sigh, I remain Princess Celestia. She raised her head. Sunlight of Equestria. She stepped towards the elements of harmony, and its guiding light. She had paused before touching her tiara. I do not possess the right to ask of this of thee, my friends, but will it though stand beside me now? Do not possess the right? Puddinghead blustered. What poppycock? I am for thee, Celestia. As I am, said Smart Cookie. My son is in the courtyard, said Platinum. For the vow I made for him, I am with thee, Celestia. Thou dost already know my loyalty is to thee, Hurricane barked. Thou doest not to ask it again. Nor for mine, Pansy added. Celestia bowed her head. I thank thee, my friends. As if the simple words were an incantation, the 6 gemstones began to glow. Celestia felt herself raised to the air as if on warm thermal above the clouds. Hurricane Pansy, Smart Cookie, Puddinghead, and Platinum ascended with her, sighing as the magic seeped into them as it did to her. Laughter, honesty, loyalty, and kindness and generosity. The elements of harmony whispered into their minds. Be them showed into ponies old or young, great or small. These bind souls closer in adversity and breed harmony from chaos. There is strength in these 5 elements, for when they come together, they create a spark of another. Celestia's tiara dissolved and the 6 stones circled around, as if choosing from the assembled ponies. One by one, a gemstone arched towards them, reforming itself into a necklace that fastened around their throats, in a setting that matched their rump mark. Finally, the last one came to Celestia, lowering onto her head and blossomed into a gold crown with single blazing sun at its center. The 6th element magic, it whispered. Thou dost remain among our chosen, Celestia. Use us wisely. As one, Celestia and the 5 founding ponies soared out of the window and onto the courtyard. Luna turned to surprise. Celestia, thou art still alive? Her eyes narrowed and glowed angrily. And thou dost once again possess the elements of harmony. I thought them had gone. Not gone, villain, Hurricane shouted. Thou art soon to be. Luna laughed uproariously. What? Thou dost seek to defeat me? Thou art not but a wizened old nag? 5 wizened old nags and a princess whose veins run weak from poison? I tremble in fear truly. Do not mock us, monster, Hurricane continued to shout. The cyclone-shaped element at her throat glowed with magical energy. "We may be old, but we still can vanquish thee regardless." "Oh," Luna raised an eyebrow. "I think not, Wind Racer." The Bat Pony was at her side in an instant. "Yes, my queen?" "Call my dark devotes and annihilate these traitors to my crown." "By thy will, my queen." He opened his mouth, emitting a shrill cry. Instantly all the Bat Ponies in the courtyard took flight, assuming formation as if mentally linked. The one called Wind Racer pointed at Celestia and the Founders. "For thy queen's honor, attack! Brace yourselves," Hurricane warned, brandishing her sword. As they approached, the 6 gemstones glowed. Celestia felt power ribbon through her mind and her body, briefly circling the intent in her heart as it checked for against those in other ponies. She recognized the sensation. Harmony truly meant harmony. She and Luna had been in so tuned to each time that they had used the elements, thinking that one pony in 2 bodies, night and day, sister and sister, one half and the other. "Luna." A rainbow of light seek from all the 6 gems, engulfing the oncoming Bat Ponies. It wept over and over them like water, washing dark ink from cloth, taking in the darkness that had been planted in their hearts with it. When it had passed, a flock of moon guards remained, their armor and signals in tatters. The unicorns and earth ponies fell, but were caught by the Pegasi before they could hit the ground. Luna gasped, then she screamed. The noise echoed around the courtyard like screech of angry cat. Far below, the assembled ponies cowered. Even though they were no longer guarded, no pony moved, as if it were frozen, as they watched one of their princess battle the evil pony that had appeared out of nowhere. "They don't know it's Luna," Celestia realized. And why would they? She had been calling herself a queen, not a princess, and judging by the way Wind Racer had talked to one, none of her transformed guards had used her name. Could the ponies below see her rump mark? They would recognize it for what it was? "My treachery would be punished," Luna screamed. "I am queen. Thou shalt bow before me or die." "Thou part no queen of mine," Platinum yelled back. "Thou art naught but like a nightmare." "A nightmare, am I?" Luna grinned wildly. "Then thy nightmare I shall be." She flared her wings and lashed out with her mane and tail. "Do not let them touch thee," Celestia shouted, remembering the fate of the guards. She had veered aside, knocking Pansy out of the way. Luna's tail shot over their heads and smashed against the wall of Celestia's chamber. "Star Swirl!" Platinum shrieked in horror. Then again she saw where the debris from the strike was falling. "Golden Mane!" Celestia saw the pieces of the wall, window, and floor heading for the crowd. She felt her heart and her mind sink with the 5 ponies around her. It wasn't consciousness, didn't make it as far as words, but it was a shared intent that chimed in all of them at once. "We have to save them." Another blast of rainbow light shot out from the elements of harmony. It scooped up the debris, placing one into the sides of the garden where it wouldn't hurt any pony. In the courtyard, a blonde unicorn stallion cried out, leading the rest to the crowd in cheer. There was no time to stop, no time to check wherever Starswell was right. Luna lashed out again, whipping out her head to bring the enormous mane around her like a bolt whip. It cut through the air, zinging with the magic so cold that it took Celestia's newly restored breath away. Pudding Head and Hurricane only just evaded it, flying like the young Pegasi despite their age, and in Pudding Head's case, lack of wings. The power of the elements had infused them with extra lease of life beyond their years. "Bow before me," Luna screamed. "Bow before my beautiful endless night." "Thou shalt kill in all Equestria with endless night," Smart Cookie shouted. "No land may survive without daylight. Is thy intent to murder every pony? No pony who matters can only exist in the sun. I shall banish the daylight and prove my supremacy of night." Luna pedaled in the air with her forelegs. "I shall fling the sun at Griffonia and burn the accursed place into cinders. Then there shall be only my moon and the night forever." "Thou art mad," Hurricane declared. I am Queen. Luna dissolved into a fury of stardust. Hurricane gawped at the empty spot. Ow! Look out! Pansy shrieked, barreling towards her. Too late. Luna cold-sighted behind Hurricane and knocked her out. Her powerful buck sent the elegant Pegasus scudding through the air. Pansy put herself in her friend's path, but the force of Hurricane's flight knocked her down aside as she grabbed the edge of the East Tower roof to save herself. Hurricane's sword plummeted, embedding itself to the first in the ground far below. A bolt of rainbow light erupted around Hurricane as her element of those and Pansy, Celestia, Puddinghead, Smart Cookie, and Platinum formed a curve like a slice to catch and bring her back around. Hurricane let out a joyful shout, using the momentum of Luna's own kick against her. She had shot off the end of the rainbow slide and whooped a hoof first into Luna's face. The crowd cheered louder. How is that a wizened old nag nightmare? Hurricane crowd. Thou shalt pay for thy insolence, wench, Luna snarled. She spat blood and bared her stained teeth. Her whole head seemed to flicker with the black flames that coalesced into a silvery element to match her shoes and the armor that had formed on her body. The penalty for laying a hoof on Phi Queen is death. She dissolved again. Celestia and the five founders drew close, facing outwards with their backs together, better to see whatever Luna reappeared. Suddenly, a dark shape launched off the castle roof, flying straight at them. It was too small to be Luna, but it was still undoubtedly attacking them. Quick! Hurricane shouted. Yet in their 6 hearts and mind did not sink. They did not agree on how they would deal this unexpected attack. They should strike it down or cleanse it off of darkness affecting it. The elements did not emit another rainbow, giving the shadow time to cannon into a Smart Cookie. Death to all traitors, yelled the Black Pegasus stallion, tattered towards Moonguard Cygna. Smart Cookie! Puddinghead and Hurricane dive after her. No, wait! Celestia saw the sparkle of sunshine for a moment before Luna appeared below them. Her mane whipped out, surrounding all 4 descending ponies. She grinned viciously, contracting it inwards, clearly intending to crush them inside. Her expression shifted when the interior of her trap glowed with rainbow colors. Celestia's element shot from its own light, and so did Platinum's and Pansy's. The 2 halves of the rainbow met, making a path for Smart Cookie, Hurricane, and Puddinghead to escape. Luna screamed in frustration and stamped in the air, and clenching her mane like a foal in a tantrum. Nay, my queen, yelled the terror-sickened voice. Please, I am yet within. I am with... Luna blinked in surprise at the abruptly ended scream. She tossed her head, flicking away the mangled body of the Black Pegasus, as one might a bug that might have become caught in one's mane during a gallop. She watched as the bloody corpse fall. Ponies screamed and scattered to get out of the way as it landed among them. How unfortunate, she said, her tone disinterested. She flicked between the emotions like she was playing hopscotch or on flagstones, carved with their names, first rage, then empathy, and then manic delight. Ah, well, Wind Racer did say that he would lay down his life for me. Monster, Platinum accused. Again, if thou dost insist on conducting thyself into death with insults on thy hips, I do prefer Nightmare. Luna grinned, for am I the mare of the night? This is a pretty word game, to be sure. The mare of the night and the moon. Her eyes glimmered. I am the Nightmare Queen Moon. Celestia stared at her sister as Luna threw her head back and laughed, face splattered with blood and filled with madness. For the rest of her life, however long that might be, Celestia knew that she would have to image that tattooed on the side of her eyelids whenever she had closed them. Abruptly, Luna stopped laughing and snarled, And I am done with thee. Her mane funneled upwards in whirlwind, not like Hurricane's rump mark. Lightning crackled in its center, arching towards them. Celestia and the founders dodged, evading the attack, but it struck the castle instead. The roof to the great hall exploded, and the rest of the crumbling inwards, exposing pillars and a table demolished by rubble. The magnificent chandelier lay shattered amongst the wreckage, colored glass and reflecting the light from Luna's unnatural storm and the fire of her lightning had caused. "We must lead her away from the castle," Celestia shouted. "Too many ponies stand in harm's way here." "Lead me?" Luna laughed. "Queens are not led, Celestia. Queens led others." She opened her wings, beat them once, and arrowed them up like a bolt of lightning herself. "After her!" Hurricane yelled, also flying skywards. Pansy and Puddinghead followed her lead, Smart Cookie and Platinum hesitating to join their friends. A moment later, Celestia brought up the rear, apprehensive of what Luna was planning as they climbed higher and higher. She had found the moment when they broke through the upper cloud layer, where the air was thin and the ground was no longer visible. This was the Pegasi territory. She did not miss how Smart Cookie, Puddinghead, and Platinum looked down at the empty air beneath their hooves and matching worried expressions. Luna lingered a few dozen feet away, horn wreathed with black flames. She faced away from them, for whose rays like she was going to embrace some pony she couldn't see. She laughed, and mane and tail bellowing behind her. When Hurricane flew at her, it lashed at her, and Hurricane fell back. "'Tis like a razor," she grunted, holding her bleeding foreleg. "This is more demon than pony. A demon could not do as I do now, nag," Luna called over her shoulder. Celestia's horn prickled from the tip of the base. The magical link she had felt with the sun arched like a hissing cat. She realized Luna what she was up to. "Nay, Luna, do not do it!" "What is she?" Smart Cookie began. "She intends to bring down the moon down on us." Celestia cut her off. She flew to her sister, shouting desperately, "Luna, stay Phi Magic! Release the moon!" "Those do refuse to die or cede me, Luna." Celestia, Luna replied. "Doest scoffed at my proposal to do this," sang Juin. "Thy fear now doth show it as the wonderful plan it is. I imagine that fear in this treacherous griffin breast." She laughed manically. "First I shall smite thee with the moon. Then, thou art gone, I shall take control of the sun and use it on Griffonia. My night shall last forever, and all who shall know my power and my love me. Luna, thou shalt destroy if all thou continues. Equestria will die. Luna, Luna!" Celestia's desperate cry fell on uncaring ears. She tried to reach her, tried to get her to understand, but Luna's mane wrapped around her throat. She choked and kicked until Hurricane and Smart Cookie grabbed her wings and pulled her free. Eventually, Luna's grip had been affected by the huge amount of magic and concentration it took to draw the moon out of the sky. She felt her heart and mind sink once more with the five founders. It shared the intent chimed in all of them at once, flowing through their elements and igniting their power. "We have to stop her." Once again the rainbow of light erupted. It swirled around them as if it was building up momentum. She then carried it towards Luna. It struck her from behind, though her mane and tail tried to deflect it, when they were swept away by the sheer force of their shared desire to save Equestria. For the first time since the battle began, Luna's scream was from the pain and surprise instead of anger. The rainbow of light twisted her up as she had twisted up Windracer, but instead of twisting together until her body was wrung to death, the rainbow spun in her in place, cutting off her connection with the moon. The elements of harmony had that power. Celestia knew it. They had given herself and Luna their authority over the sun and moon. They could take it away again. "Nay!" Luna shrieked. "I am queen! I am queen! Thou art not monster of an enemy of Equestria and ponykind," Hurricane shouted. "'Tis the task of the elements of harmony to cleanse our land of thee. They shall chose thy punishment, nightmare." Abruptly, Celestia's own words floated back to her. "The elements choose each punishment to reflect the crimes of its punished." Discord was a creature of energy and life. Therefore, the 10 in stone was the worst price for him to pay. This was a reflection of Sombra's crimes also. Sombra had enslaved the Crystal Empire and murdered the countless ponies to rise to his power. His punishment had been an annihilation. It was his darkness that had infected Luna. Would her punishment be the same? Please do not let that happen, she fought. Do not let my sister die that way. The rainbow light wavered. The founders cried out in dismay when Luna's face appeared as she tried to fight her way free. Celestia let them redouble their efforts, wishing all with their might to defeat this terrible threat to the country and ponies that they had spent their lives protecting. That was their duty too. She was a saint about them but not about what should happen to Luna. She wanted to save her sister, not killed her. She desperately hoped that some silver of the real Luna remained inside of what she had become. Her desire cut through the founders, overruling them. It was unprecedented. Mid-attack, the element of magic changed her mind before the lack of synchronization could dissipate the rainbow of light to question Celestia's consciousness, rode the wave power into Luna's heart. She heard a scream, Luna's scream, the real Luna, lost and afraid, not the monster she had become. It ripped through her. Celestia, Luna called in terror. I am frightened, sister. Celestia, please stop me. The whispering voices of the elements of harmony crowded into Celestia's mind, berating her from using them in that way. Luna's voice vanished in the melee as Celestia was forced back to her own head. Do not let her die, she fought, putting all of her authority as Alicorn and the Sun Princess of Equestria behind. It is fight chosen, I demand it. Thou shalt not let her die. Thou shalt find another way to punish her, but thou shalt not to let her die. Punishment must be meted out. The whispering voices clamored. Punishment must be fitting. But you know this, thou art no longer our chosen. Thou hast betrayed our true trust in thee. We grant thy request, but ejected thy heart of what have wrought among our chosen. Thy sister shall live 1,000 years as part of a beloved moon. Celestia, in 1,000 of years we shall punish thee for what thou hast done. Our bond with thee is no more, and thou shalt face her alone then. Abruptly her mind emptied. Celestia was alone in her own head. She ricocheted backwards, turning her head over end, and as the wavering rainbow of light shattered like a smashed stained glass window, sending fragments of power in all directions. She cried out when a few struck her, and had to look away at the silhouette form of the rearing alicorn was carried onto the sky last, lingering scream. And then there was only silence. Celestia tumbled until she opened her wings, no longer supported by the element's magic. Her tiara dissolved and she caught the gemstone when it fell off her head, except that it wasn't a gemstone anymore. Celestia stared at the lifeless rock in her hooves, of no particular shape or color anymore. It was all of its energy had been spent. Similar rocks were falling around her. 5 of them. She had flapped to each one of them, cradling them in her telekinesis, even though her horn ached like some pony had tried to snap it off. Not one of them resembled the rump marks that they had formed when the 5 founding ponies wore them. Hurricane? Celestia called, flying back up to the cloud layer she had left. There was no pony there. Pansy? Platinum? She flew in circles, ducking above and below the clouds, bursting through them in case of her old friends were there. As seconds tickled and none of them answered, dread grew inside her. She felt like she had swallowed Luna's poison again as her chest tightened and her breathing quickened. Puddinghead? She dived, heading back towards the castle. Smart cookie? If Castle Everfree was in a blaze, some ponies had worked to put it out, levitating and carrying buckets of water from the moat to douse the flames. The majority were already outside the castle walls. The drawbridge had been lowered and they were running for their lives. They did not know the danger was over. Their enemy had been defeated. But at what cost? Celestia realized what she had done, changing her mind and breaking the harmony she had shared with her friends while using the element's power had consequences she hadn't been aware of. How could she have known? How? Thou hast betrayed our trust in thee. We grant thy request, but reject thy heart of what hath wrought among our chosen. The remaining 5 founders were gone, burnt up in that last desperate attack. All but Celestia. All 5 sisters shall live 1,000 years as a part of beloved moon, Celestia. Luna was gone. Hurricane, Pansy, Smart Cookie, Puddinghead, and Platinum were all gone too. In 1,000 years we shall be punished for fee of what Doe has done. She had lost her sister and her friends in the same act. She had lost everything. Her castle burned, her citizens scattered, and her heart finally broke. Our bond with thee is no more, and thou shalt face her alone then. Suspended above the castle Everfree, clutching the innards of the elements of harmony would do any good. Celestia screamed out her misery.
What's up, my pretties? It's the Lion Queen here. I want to appreciate you all for tuning into this video, and I do appreciate you guys supporting my video by giving this video likes and stuff. If you really enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe if you're new, ring the bell for notifications to when I upload so that way you guys will get updated for whenever I upload. If you want to follow me on Twitter or DeviantArt, feel free to leave a follow on those if you are interested in following me on those socials. If you want to support my backup channel, known as Miss Dark Shigo, feel free to subscribe to it, as a link to that will also be in the About page section. And with that being said, and that being the case, thank you so much for watching, my pretties, and as always, please stay pretty.